Hello beautiful beings, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Seeds of Silver Tree. Today's topic is celibacy. Quick note, if my video cuts off at the very end very quickly, it's just because it's an old phone. So it's not like my editing skills are subpar. No, I know how to edit. It's just since I use my phone to upload a lot of these messages and the age of the phone, it is what it is. So please, just disregard that. So let's get into it. So we're going to talk about celibacy. And I'm thinking the topic today is going to be about the difference between love of ease and love of effort, and how the 1960s free love movement or free love culture is kind of coming to a close. So what is love of ease, love of effort? Love of ease, well, let's talk about the 1960s free love, polyamory movement, where, the culture previous to that, before circa 1950s, it was the culture in the Western world was very set on patriarchal, traditional way of being, meaning it was very square energy, very rigid, a lot of rules, a lot of roles. Men played this role, women played that role. Men go out in the world and build, women stay at home and nurture. It was very clear cut. Identity was very clean cut. However, and I think the government had something to do with this anyway, the FBI, CIA, whatever you want to call them. But I think they fed into this huge cultural shift because there was a whole energetic spiritual shift globally anyway. So what they did was they kind of pushed this free love, free movement, free this, free that, everything's free, right? And open yourself and open your sexuality, open your identity, open your mind, free your mind. Here's some psychedelic drugs, take some LSD, smoke some marijuana, be free, let your hair grow, be wild. And so of course that was a huge portal and a window of opportunity for people, for human beings, to really get to know ourselves and to tap into a feminine part of our human collective that we've forgotten about, that was so constricted and restricted due to the previous world wars and the racial issues that took place. I mean, it was all one love and all that, which was very beautiful and it was very needed. And that culture from the 1960s moving forward, really, it stayed for quite some time. In the 70s, right, in the 80s, when my parents, what they call you, baby boomers, I think, maybe. Anyway, like in the 80s, my parents were in their 20s, early 30s, and it's like that's that independent woman, like, I'm my own queen of my womb. And I mean, it was so clear cut on this programming of free love, free independence. I don't need anybody. I'm a sovereign woman. I can get paid as much as the man. It was very competitive, I think, in the 1980s and leading into the 1990s. Again, this very like free love, very put yourself out there, have multiple lovers and all that. Before I get into the love of ease and the love of effort, understand this, please. I am not posting judgment on anyone. I'm not going to project stories on how you as a viewer, how you decide to live your life and conduct your body and whom you give it to, when you give it to, how many people you give it to. That's not what I'm talking about here and making you feel less or higher than. This is just primarily talking about the metaphysical side of sexual energy and lovemaking and value, creating more value and self-worth and higher self-esteem through the practice of celibacy. So love of ease is about that. It's like making it easier for access, making yourself easy access to the other, and others making you and making themselves easy access to them. So it's devaluing our energies, devaluing what we bring to the table in a way. And this free love type of culture, we are now beginning to see how it has affected the collective as a whole. All right. Now, With that being said, I grew up actually in a culture, a subculture in the U.S. As a Muslim American, where I was exposed to polygamy, right? Where a man takes more than one woman and he has multiple wives. I have personal, I would say personal experience with this. Not me, like, being a wife to, I was never a wife, but I grew up in very close proximity to this culture, so I have an understanding of how it works, and the complexities of that mind, that way of thinking, the pros and cons of it all. But this love of ease, meaning easy access to your body and to your soul, to your energy, to your opening, you're opening yourself up to anyone and everyone without having them put in the effort. You're saying, hey, let's hook up here, let's hook up there, bring some weed or bring some alcohol, or let's just chill, Netflix and chill. It's so easy, right? But with that, we have cheapened ourselves, and we've cheapened this very powerful act, right? That can last between 10 minutes to an hour, okay? Just a moment. It's not even that long, but it's a very powerful practice and a very powerful act between two people or multiple people, whatever floats your boat, okay? And so with this, when we've cheapened and kind of took this practice and lowered it to the standard of what it is now. Like, people sell themselves, on OnlyFans. You have sex workers and places where it's legal, places where it's illegal, and this whole kind of constructed like self-empowerment, because I allow myself to share myself with many people. That's something I feel like it's shifting. People I find anyway, when I'm tuning into the digital world and the community online, it's very surprising how things are moving about. You have less and less people seeing the benefits of marriage and of the whole dating life. It's all just kind of a program in itself. So what is love of most effort? Love of effort, meaning you put value on your body, value on your mind, your energy, your heart, your soul, your spirit, your womb, or your lingam, for my male watchers. And when you raise the standards of yourself, you force other people, you enforce other people to raise their standards as well, or they can leave you the F alone. And I find that once you start to practice this through celibacy or abstinence, whatever works for you, you begin, it's an amazing filter, right? And I'm not saying it doesn't, celibacy and abstinence doesn't have its pros or cons. It definitely has its cons. One of the cons being people will play fake. They future fake, they're phony, they'll put on the mask, or they'll be like, oh, me too, I'm that way too, me too, and they're not. And only time can be your friend with, when it comes to filtering out who's being authentic and who's being genuine and sincere with this practice. But the effort, when you put in effort in yourself, it enforces others to put effort in themselves. It enforces others to love themselves, to put value into who they are. This is so important. It's self-respect. And I'm not, again, people, I don't want my viewers to believe like, oh, well, are you calling me cheap because I decide to practice, unsafe sex and throw myself out there and have multiple partners? You do you. If you love yourself and you can stay centered and grounded and clear-headed through that type of practice, go right ahead. Everyone has their moment. Everyone has their own personal path and storyline that they must allow to unfold for themselves. I can only live for myself, as you can only live for yourself, and I'm just sharing this because I feel it in my heart to do so. And for those who are on a similar path or who feel pulled to this path, this is just insight and this is just some wisdom. As a middle-aged woman, and I've had some life experiences that were very enlightening, experiences that were very humbling, very hurtful, painful, and very exciting sometimes. But with the love of effort, when you put in the effort in yourself, then you put the same effort into someone else. So when you meet someone and you're putting all the effort in yourself, you're doing what you need to do loving yourself, taking care of your health, your wealth, your joy, connecting to your community, just building your life, and you meet someone who's putting in the least amount of effort in your connection, meaning they're not putting as much effort into you, that's the same effort that they're putting into themselves. So they might look like they have it all together. They might have the perfect job, bringing in 6 figures, 2 cars, a mortgage, and they got everything set up, but they may be very, very poor spiritually and metaphysically. Poor in their spirit and in their soul. That's why you have to be very careful chasing after material wealth. Be sure that someone is mentally and spiritually and emotionally and psychologically wealthy first. Don't always chase the dollar. Do not do that. You will be very surprised at the type of monsters that are out here, all hiding behind the disguise of financial security and financial stability. Be very mindful, especially women, since there's an ideology of I'm no longer a 50-50 woman. Fine. Is that man or that partner, a potential partner, are they solid in their soul and their spirit? Because we cannot take the material wealth with us. We can't even take the pieces of jewelry. We can't take anything with us. I can't take these glasses or this beautiful pendant of a deer antler. I can't take my rings. I can't take any of it with me. Just my own consciousness. So be very mindful of that. To my 50, I'm not going 50-50. The man's got to pay for everything I got to do. Fine. That's okay. That's very traditional. I'm not against that. I welcome that. That's amazing if you can get it like that. But the effort that you put into the love for yourself, you will attract the same. And you will attract those who put in the least amount of effort because they want to be that, but they don't have the inner power or willpower to do so. So, just food for thought. I love this shift that's taking place in the dating culture because people are becoming a lot more picky. People are becoming a lot more clear-headed. They're not just going about the old quick romp in the sheets and boom, boom, boom. Like, if that's your vibe, that's your vibe. If that's your vibe, you'll find your tribe. Okay, they're out there. You want it easy, you'll get it easy. But as easy as they come, they will go. And people who put in that effort, they're not so quick to just let it go and let the relationship dissolve. They're willing to put in the effort to make it, to keep it, to upkeep the connection. So that is all I have to share in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think or feel down below. If you rock with the message, great. If not, tell me why. Thank you.